Right now I'm in the process of setting up the camera mount. I actually thought I was recording for about 3 or 4 minutes. This process of putting together this camera mount, only to realize I hadn't pressed the start button yet. Probably only disappointing to me. That's the good news. Basically what I'm doing is putting together a mount for my phone. Sit on the wall here, pointing down at this onto this workstation, workbench, where I'm going to demonstrate disassembling my laptop. Goes down into the garbage bin. I'm going to try to clean up these edges. Stacked. Should be able to drill through into the wall. And then put in a center mount screw where I can attach a tripod mount for the camera. That's for there, and then I need a couple of screws to get into the wall. A couple of these should do nicely. Probably a bit excessive, but why do it halfway? That should work. As we're passing through that piece, they're just going to be better, so let's do these. Good old-fashioned hand vise for this. And just use the screw to hold that in place. Similar setup on the other end here. Let's get hand vise. just punch both of those. It should mount. Now, that's where that's going to go, but we need to drill a hole in the center here first. It's going to be the mount point. For that, this is what I've been using to hold the phone. Take that same screw or bolt, place it through here, and this can sit on the wall, pointing down at this desk. So that's what's next. Probably be easiest to drill that hole while these are in place. So maybe I'll pull the other driver. Just throw that into the wall. Here's hoping we hit some 2x4s. Sure enough. How convenient. Alright, and then this. Went a bit far. No big deal. All right. Now, it could be somewhat of a pain countersinking, but I happen to choose a nice soft wood here, which means I can just carve in a convenient countersink spot. The back side here. And yes, these are somewhat painful sticking up there. But not enough so to make me take the extra time to back them out. It's probably enough, but I'm going to give it a little more. Just so it's sitting mostly flush with the wall. Let's drive those in all the way. But first, rusted steel. That component. Screw from the bottom of the phone stand. Should expose just enough of the screw. coming out from the wall to mount. Seeing as that's noisy, I'm going to switch that out with the non-hammer driver. There we go. Should be nice and solid. Now, take this mount. Not perfect, but good enough. Now I have a view of my workstation. First, I'll do a little bit of cleanup here. With that, I think we're ready to disassemble the laptop. So this is an old Asus EEPC. I don't know if that's pronounced triple EPC or EPC. Don't recall. Never known. We need some nice, small screwdrivers for those. Additionally, toolkit down here where I contain some of my finer screwdrivers. A couple of options there. That's actually a good option right there. And my intent is not to be able to salvage any of this. This is well past its useful days. I'm hoping to pull out the hard drive and extract some magnets from it. Those are useful. We keep those on our fridge. Are the memory modules? It may just be one. Sure enough, 1 gigabyte. expect we have screws hidden under these. Perhaps not. Nothing obvious under there. Here. Looks similar. So similar pads here and there that look like they're probably hiding some sort of screw head. But as you dig deeper, definitely nothing obvious. So must be some other mechanism for getting in there. May just end up splitting the chassis. Potentially just popping up this keyboard first using the pry bar. Looks like a nice convenient way to get in, sure enough. Yep. There's some helpful screws. More down here. I would certainly go about this in a much more methodical and careful manner if I had any intention of reassembling this in the future. Seeing as I don't. And I'm just curious what it looks like inside. Make this nice and quick. See if we can pull this apart easily. So this layer here here. Warranty void if seal broken. Oh. This thing is rather old, so I'm not too worried. Disconnect that. And that's the mouse right there. We've exposed the interesting parts. So here's an I/O board of some sort. This would be the motherboard. I'm guessing the CPU is under this heat spreader here. Here's the hard drive, the piece I'm most interested in. That's attached there. There. This may be the only points. Sure enough. That's free. Now I can remove the brackets. For those unfamiliar, the hard drive is the long-term storage device. It'll actually hold data even if there's no power applied to the device. It's actually 250 gigabytes, far more than I expected. I don't know that it was actually advertised with that capacity. I thought it was much less. So it's possible they just formatted this at a much smaller capacity when they gave it out, and it was cheaper for them to use a 250 gigabyte hard drive. Or I just don't remember the actual capacity. Either equally likely. Okay. Set that aside and pull that apart in a few minutes. Alright. Let's pull off the I/O card here. It's going to be, these look like USB-A ports, HDMI, or power? No, I think power's over here. Imagine that's not, that's Ethernet. And then SD card reader, I believe. And then audio. That attaches into the screen. That may be what this is, the display port. Audio connectivity. I'm guessing this is display. Alright, now for the motherboard. Screws are much longer than I expected. Okay, pull these out as well. This, I believe, is the Wi-Fi module. There's something attached on the, there, speaker or battery. I'm not sure what that is. CR2032 does not look easily replaceable. There's the heatsink. There's the CPU. It's an Atom chip. I believe it was an old Atom dual core, maybe, from back in the day. Here's the memory module we just removed. We had it inverted. Here's the controller for the hard drive. believe that's power from the battery. Yeah, so the battery hooks in there. Or did. That's a nice little fan. I wonder if we can spin that up. That's worth keeping around. Nice little chunk of copper there. Use that as a hand sanitizer at the sink or something. Although it does act as a nice cover for the fan, so just keep the fan. All right. There's a lot of screws. I salvage the fan, the memory module, for which I have no use. We have a hard drive. That is the part that I've been waiting for. Bon appetit. I'm going to start by removing the circuit board on the bottom, or at least trying to. I wonder if there's any recoverable data. I should probably check that out before going any further. So let's find out. What might there be? Do I have a way to extract that power? Yeah, that should work. That in there. that did spin up. So now, should be able to check if there's any data on here. Has 2 volumes, a 150 gig and a 100 gig volume. This had Linux installed on it until recently. There may be some interesting data here. But it's still usable. I don't know that it makes sense to disassemble this quite yet. Just a couple things. I remember this now. No, I do not expect there's anything of use here. I think we can disassemble this. Good news. And back to the original plane. We resume. Now we need to select the right Torx head. I believe it'll be this one. Yep. Not enough clearance there. it's always possible that there is some hidden screw under here, making disassembly difficult. Maybe right about there. A solid guess. That removed, I expect quite a bit easier to disassemble. There we go. Now to get out those magnets. And the platter as well. So there's where all the data would reside. You just take a magnet to that. It should make sure that there's nothing left. Now to get these magnets pulled out. They're magnetic. This isn't. Extra credit if you can guess what material that scraper pry bar is made of. That's unique. It's the first time I've seen a piece like that attached to the magnet. A little inconvenient. I'll have to figure out how to remove that. Imagine just prying from here, sure enough. Now we have 2 useful magnets. You can decorate the fridge. Hold schedules to the wall and the like. And there it is. Computer disassembled. Biggest accomplishment of this whole thing was getting the camera set up. So hopefully subsequent videos will be far more interesting than this one. Thanks for watching.